Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today on Dark Matters, I thought I'd show you how you can change the amount of money that you have in Farming Simulator 19, so you can basically have unlimited funds in the game. Now, some people who are purists don't like to do this because they want to be limited by the game with a certain amount of money and play the game that way. And that's fine. But the advantage to being able to do this is you can actually create an instance of the game where you have unlimited money and you can test different farm equipment, including the most expensive, without saving up for it, and see if it's actually worth spending the time and effort to save up for a particular piece of equipment. And you'll already know how it works and how effective it is. So let's get started. All right, if you look at the upper right corner of the screen, it says we have $100,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this game, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to edit that. I recommend doing this on a new game file just in case you mess something up. It's kind of hard to mess things up on this, but it is possible, theoretically, to mess up the file. So I would just start on a new game totally so you don't mess up a game that you've been working on for some time. Once you've done it on an initial game, then you may feel confident enough to go back to an older game and edit it. So we're going to hit escape, and we're going to go over here to this icon here, and we're going to go save game. So our game is saved, so we can quit the game now. All right, you're going to go to your Documents folder, and you're going to see a folder there called My Games. Under My Games, you'll find a folder called Farming Simulator 2019. Double-click on this. You'll see our saved games here, saved game 1, saved game 2. If we had a third saved game, it would be called saved game 3. Saved game 1 is an older game that we did, and saved game 2 is the game that we set up for this demonstration. So I'm going to right-click on here, and I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to go paste. This gives us a backup of the game we're working on in case we mess something up. This step isn't totally necessary, particularly if you're just doing a game that you're starting out on and you don't care if you mess something up because you can always recreate it. If you want to restore this backup, you would just delete Save Game 2 and then rename this folder Save Game 2, so you'd remove the dash and the copy from the end of it. So we're going to go into Save Game 2, and there's a file here called Farms. We're going to right click on it. Now you can either open it in Notepad or you can just go right to Edit and edit it, and it will open it up in WordPad right here in this case. This is just a plain text file, so you can edit it with any text editor as long as you just save it as a plain text file. There are all these parameters. This file has all the parameters, so you could actually theoretically change any parameter in here, but you really don't want to mess with this file too much because if you mess it up, you can mess up some of the parameters of your game. If we go back and look back at this folder, there are other files here. So you're only editing this one particular file, so that's the only thing that you kind of can mess up. But these other files hold other information about the game in them as well. That's why we want to back it up just in case. But like I said, if you start on a new game, you really don't have to worry because you can just delete the game and restart if there's a problem. It's really pretty simple to edit this. All you need to do is you go here to where it says money, and you'll see there's a figure here in between the quotation marks. You want to leave those quotation marks. You also want to leave everything after this is dot here. See, it says dot and it has 0.00000. Those are the cents. Leave that the way it is. It needs to have that number of decimal points probably, and if you mess that up, it could cause a little confusion in the game. So just leave that. You only really want to mess with the number here to the left of that dot. And all you're going to do is you're going to add whatever number you want. Right now it's 100. 1,000. If you wanted 900,000, you could just change the 1 to a 9. If you want more than that, you could go back here and you could add zeros. So we have 900,000 here. If we add 1 0, it's 9 million. If we add 2 zeros, it's $90 million. I'm pretty satisfied with that, but you can actually pretty much make it any number that you want. I think initially when I tested it, I think I gave myself like $90 trillion or something. This can be any number you want, and it will change that number in your game to the number of dollars that you have. So let's just click here and save that. And so we should have $90 million when we go into the game. So let's go back into the game and see what happens. If you look in the upper right hand corner of the game, you'll see we now have $90 million. So we've altered the amount of money that we have in the game. The advantage to this is that we have basically unlimited money. I would only really change it once unless there's a specific amount that you want to see how well you do with that amount of money in the game. So alter it to a larger number. You're not really going to need to change it. You can always go back and change it later. Just make sure you only change what I showed you. If you change other things, it might alter other values in the game that you don't want altered. Now, the advantage to being able to give yourself this much money is, even if you don't want to play the game with this amount of money, you can create a game where you give yourself pretty much unlimited money, and you can test out different equipment that you're interested in, or test out doing things that you'd like to do, but you don't really have the money in a regular game to just test whatever equipment you want. So you can actually see what it's like to have the most expensive equipment and see if it's worth your while to save up money to get that equipment in a game where you're not altering the amount of money. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters, and whatever you do, enjoy playing Farming Simulator. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.